2020 was supposed to be an amazing year. Daniel Craig would be doing his next James Bond film. Sadly, it would be his last, but it looked like he was going out with a bang. Donald Trump will be partaking in the next US election against Joe Biden. This was music to my ears. But then on the 18th of March,
From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home.
Council's worst nightmare. A major incident declared after thousands of people defied advice to stay away. Illegal parking, 33 tons of waste, drunken fights and gridlock on the roads.
Good evening. The coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades, and this country is not alone. All over the world, we're seeing the devastating impact of this invisible killer.
COVID-19 was a big shock for everyone in 2020 and has affected many people, including business owners. Today I interview 3 business owners who have really struggled during the pandemic. I hope to gather information on how these people have struggled during lockdown. The first person I interviewed was June. June is the owner of the gym Fitness Finesse. As she works for herself, she will have struggled during the lockdown because there was no income. I intend to find out how she managed to cope during the lockdown. First question, what was your main coping mechanism during lockdowns? How did you cope?
A few hours every day to reassure people because we were getting a lot of phone calls from people.
Right.
People wanted to know about the memberships, people wanted to know what was happening, what they had to do. So yes, we did come in quite a bit, which helped us cope when we got out of lockdown.
Yeah.
But it's not easy, it's not been easy.
No.
At all.
No, I was supposed to be doing my first year at college, creating a game for us, FMP, so final major projects. That's what it all leads up to. And with when we got into the middle of March, I remember them just saying, "Don't come in."
So we were the same. We got to know that we had to shut down, like the night before.
Oh God!
So you had to just shut like that. It was really hard.
Do you feel that the pandemic's entirely serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Yes. I know there are some theories saying that it's not, but no, it is. You'd only have to go to a hospital to see how much, and you've only see at the moment on the television in India. No, it's serious.
Do you believe that the virus is real?
Yes, I do. I do.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on all the conspiracy theories going around? So it's man-made, it's chemical warfare and all that sort of thing.
We don't know, do we? we don't have any idea whether it was made in China and it's man-made, or is it something that's just developed itself.
Yeah.
We don't know. Nobody knows yet.
I heard some theories that it was basically developed by the Earth itself because, like, the Earth's become so overpopulated, and it's, you know, it could have just mutated from somewhere. Do you think the government's handling the virus well? Could be a controversial question.
Yes, I do. I don't envy them. I think they've had a terrible thing handed to them to solve because nobody's ever done it before.
No.
So there's no guidelines to follow from it happening before, nothing to look back on, and it's all had to be done as you go in on the hoof sort of thing. And I think I'm glad it wasn't me, put it that way. I'm glad I didn't have to sort it all out. And on top of that, the government was also sorting Brexit out.
Oh, of course.
There wasn't just one thing going on, there were more things happening.
Oh, yeah.
And it's alright criticising, but if you can do better, you should be in there doing it.
Do you believe in the vaccines?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I have been vaccinated and I'm going for my second one on Saturday. So, yeah, been done.
Good one. Which one? Do you mind me asking? Pfizer
AstraZeneca.
or AstraZeneca? Right. Are people taking the pandemic entirely seriously? Do you think?
You mean with it coming into the gym, or do you mean in general?
Just in general, like, are people handling it well? Do you
I think most people are.
Yeah,
taking it
I
quite
do.
seriously.
Yeah. Do you think forces should be more strict on mass gatherings? Again, maybe a bit of a controversial question.
Yes, I think people shouldn't be going to these events. But that's people, isn't it? I don't know whether the government could actually do anything. It's people being silly.
Yeah.
Most sensible people would not go.
How do you think this affects your job or occupation?
Well, it's been a very difficult time because we've had basically no income.
Yeah.
And we won't have any income for quite a while because people that did pay for a year, we're having to catch up, let them have the rest of the months that, you know, we've been shut down because they've already paid for it.
Yeah.
So where they might be paying every year, it might be another year before they pay. So yes, it's difficult for us, but the government grants have helped.
Yeah.
Without that, we wouldn't have survived.
No. Do you think lockdown has been a good event in some ways? Have you managed to do things that you haven't been able to do?
Oh yes, yeah. I managed to spend a nice time in my garden and doing things I enjoy, and it was quite nice actually to slow down a bit.
Yeah.
Because when you work for yourself, it's 24/7.
Yeah.
As you'll know from your mum working for herself.
Yeah, of course.
You've got to work when the work's there.
Yeah.
Don't have a choice.
What was the thing that you missed the most?
People, talking to people.
Yeah, people person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And having talks and fun, like we've been laughing about stuff.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
just
just
me.
the interaction. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I've got to say I missed that as well, because when I got to college, me and my mates just used to go out, have a laugh, just go sing City Park for a bit. Just, you know, enjoying one another's company really. And when lockdown hit, it hit hard, I have to say.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be doing me driving test.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't really do that first because something had kicked off and it hit me hard. So I kind of took a bit of time away from it, and then once lockdown hit, I'm grateful that I didn't actually start doing my driving lessons because it had just ended abruptly because one of my mates, he started doing his when they were starting to lift restrictions just by a bit, and he ended when the second lockdown came round, sort of October time.
Yes.
He ended up just packing it in.
The second person I interviewed was Bernie.
Bernie used to be a teacher, but then left the profession and started her own business where she teaches coping mechanisms to school children. She has recently written a book, Moban and Sky's Mindful Adventure. I asked her how she struggled during lockdown.
First question: what was your main coping mechanism during lockdown?
Right. So for me, I've got my own company. It's called Mindful Me Health and Wellbeing.
Yeah.
And what was my main coping mechanism? Oh, that's a good one. To basically practice what I preach. So I teach mindfulness strategies to people to help them to focus, to help them calm down. And I really had to put that into practice for myself because I am a limited company. Didn't get any support from the government, any of the schemes. So
Right.
I did need to put those strategies into place.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Okay, second question: do you feel that the pandemic is entirely serious? Could be controversial. Could this?
I think it is. For me personally, I think it is, and I think that's because we've known people that have been affected by it. We've known people that have died from it. We know people.
Wow.
We know people who've had long COVID, and right at the beginning, in the first lockdown, one of our family friends, is really, really serious. We thought it would touch and go with him. And on a positive, he's back at home and everything now, but the symptoms of long COVID are there. So yeah, we did see it as a reality, Ethan.
Okay. Yeah. Do you believe that the virus is real? Could be controversial again.
Do I believe that it's real? Yeah, completely. Because it's supposed to be what I just said previously.
Yeah, of course. What are your thoughts on the conspiracy theories about the origins of the virus?
Again, for me, I mean, I can go back to talk to you about my coping mechanisms and what I did with the business, but with regards to the conspiracy theories, for me, no, I'm not listening to them, to be very honest.
No.
And for me, it is something real that we all need to work together to support each other to get to the other side.
Do you think the government is handling the virus well?
Oh, I think that's a difficult one. For me, as I said, my company did not receive any financial benefit or any benefit at all from the government or any support. However, I have seen other companies who have received support, and I think that's been really positive. I think the furlough scheme, I know people who benefited from the furlough scheme. Again, I think that has been something really positive that the government has done. Would I have wanted to be the Prime Minister in a time like this? No. Would I have done anything different? I don't really know. So I think I have seen a number of positives, and I think the way sort of my outlook is focus on the positives.
Yeah, of course. I think he got a lot more what he bargained for, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you believe in the vaccines?
Yeah, I've had my vaccine already, and I'll be having the other one later in June.
Are people taking the pandemic seriously enough, do you think?
I think it's a mixture. I think some people like myself, when I speak to them, are taking it seriously. They're abiding by the restrictions and the guidelines. But I suppose just like anything, I used to be a teacher in a school before I was a mindfulness teacher. And a lot of children, did follow the rules, but there were always those ones you probably found yourself as well, Ethan, that just wanted to, defy the rules, be a rebel, and we're having that with the restrictions in the pandemic, I think, as well.
Next question. Bit of a controversial, this one. Should forces be more strict on mass gatherings, do you think?
I think that when we're in a situation that when we only need to look at India, how serious it could possibly be. I'm always against force. But for me, you shouldn't have mass gatherings. And to me, I would be looking for someone to suggest an alternative then. Because what's the alternative?
Yeah, exactly. Again, completely understand. Okay, next one. How has this affected your job/occupation?
Yeah, so initially, my job, I run my own business, as I said, delivering mindfulness, predominantly a 6-week course, 1 hour a week, to staff in schools, children in schools and organisations. And it's strategies to improve your focus, reduce your stress, improve your overall well-being, and you want to just feel a little bit happier. And the impact of the courses has been brilliant. Now the pandemic came and had a number of bookings, to go out into schools, to go out and do adult education programs, and they were cancelled because obviously we were in lockdown. So initially, it was like, what am I going to do? But I adapted quite quickly because I'd wrote a script for a book in February 2020 because I'd had a positive impact delivering my scheme to children in primary schools. They were some of my best participants, really got involved in it, got all the family involved, they were practicing it at home, used it to support themselves. I wrote the script for this book because I wanted to get out to more primary school children and wanted to get them involved and because of the impact I'd seen. So basically I pressed fast forward on the book because that was something I could do. Even in lockdown. So I spoke to different publishers, etc. I didn't know a thing about publishing. As I was saying, I pressed fast forward on publishing the book, thinking this is a way I could actually get out to young people, to get them using the techniques, because I couldn't have thought of a more of a time that they would actually need the techniques. A lot of people, their anxiety had reached high. They were worrying, we're in the unknown, weren't we, not knowing what was going on. So I was very lucky, I'd say, that I got a publisher that was interested in making positive changes to people's lives, and she loved the book. So I got the book published, which has only just recently come out. This is the book. Okay, so it's a little animated story. And
my mum's got that.
yeah, we've seen it. So it's an animated story where the mindful monkey shares 7 techniques with the skunk, and she was really stressed initially, but after 6 weeks she's developed her mindfulness skills, and she's in the best possible place. She's feeling all calm and in control. So
awesome.
That's what I did. I also put together a series of teaching and learning resources for schools as well. So to actually, once I received the book, which I have recently, I could actually look at getting a program into school. So that's what I did on the one side. On the other side, my adult education programs that I'd been delivering that had been cancelled, I adapted and suggested delivering them via Zoom. So that's what I've been doing. So I've yet to go out into the real world to do any delivery, but I've been delivering on Zoom. So I think key word was I had to adapt.
Yeah, of course. At least you've remained productive. At least.
Yes.
Do you think lockdown has been a good event in any way? Like, have you managed to do anything, like catch up or anything like that?
So for me, I've heard about loads of people that they've had additional time, but to be honest, for us, it hasn't. As I've said, I've been really busy. My children as well, they've been busy because my daughter is at uni and she's been doing online learning.
Yeah.
My son's doing his A-levels this time, and despite them saying
there's no exam,
there is exams, because he's actually in the midst of them now. So we've not really had any of that benefit of extra time that some people have had. But at the same time, I feel absolutely blessed, because I think being productive and being busy with what I've been doing with the book, etc., has probably been a real benefit to my mental health.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like I said, remain productive, keeps you busy. Yeah. What was the thing you missed the most?
Oh, giving my mum and dad a hug. I could get a bit emotional, Ethan. I could get emotional because I'm yet to give them a hug. And my dad has been quite poorly through lockdown. He was in hospital 3 times, suspected heart attack. Then they found it actually was his cancer had spread. But again, there's positive to that, Ethan, because they've given him some new treatment.
Brilliant.
It's been really effective. So,
Good.
yes, yeah, I've got a positive story to tell of what could have been back in November. It was breaking my heart. I thought, oh no, because you can't
Yeah.
go, you can't go see them when he got took into hospital. Nobody could go in.
Mm,
He's back at home. He's feeling better. The treatment has been effective.
good.
I then decided to interview some of my friends at college. As they are students, they will have suffered due to online learning. I intend to find out how they managed to deal with lockdown and what it was like from their point of view. First question, what was your main coping mechanism during lockdown?
So at the beginning of lockdown, I watched a lot of YouTube,
Yeah.
and I actually I spent like a lot of time on the phone to my friends.
All right.
I'm pretty sure, and obviously when it came to the second lockdown, I started like I have a lot of animals, so and that's kind of my hobby as well. So that was like in the first lockdown as well. I was kind of looking after them, but then in the second lockdown, I was getting more animals because it was it was just easy to get them.
Yeah.
And there's something to do, just something to keep your mind busy.
Yeah, you got to keep your mind at ease. Second question, do you feel that the pandemic is entirely serious? Might be controversial.
I think it's like 100% serious. It's just that nowadays people aren't taking it serious. People don't. It's like because we've been through the first lockdown and everybody's freaking out. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is like the worst thing what could happen." And on the second lockdown, like because we've already been through it, we've already felt it. It's like, nah, it's not that bad. We're just stuck in our houses.
Yeah.
That's the only bad bit. So so when it came to the second lockdown, nobody's taking it serious. Like shops. There's so many shops in Bradford right now where you could walk in without a face mask.
Third question, do you believe that the virus is real? Again, could be controversial.
Yeah, I believe it's real because I've had it myself, and like members of my family have had it.
Yeah.
You don't know until you stop eating, because that's like one of the biggest signs. You just stop eating.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you were off for 4 weeks, weren't you?
Yeah, it's like I think at the beginning you have to take like 2 weeks off.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks isolation. Yeah.
Me and another member of my family had it, and then after that it spread onto it was like proper contagion. We were in different rooms when we had it, but it still somehow managed to get like to the rest of the family. That's how bad it is.
Fourth question, what are your thoughts on the conspiracy theories about the virus?
The first conspiracy theory was about it being spread from bats, which makes sense because COVID is a disease comes from bats.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I remember.
yeah.
If you, I don't know. We're probably too young to remember, but the SARS virus, that I think originally came from bats.
Did it?
Yeah, I think it did.
So it was so it was from pigs, or was that swine flu or something?
Swine flu. That's swine flu. SARS was.
It was like, I think for swine flu that came from bats as well, because they were building into the bats' territory and making farms, and the pigs were like biting the bats or something, and the bats were biting the pigs or something.
Yeah. Do you think the government is handling the virus well? Again, could be controversial.
Such a hard question, because I'm not really into the whole news government stuff. I don't really watch it because, like I said, they come with big stuff, and it's just like I just can't bother. But I would say that they did try to handle it. They were handling it good for a bit, but then they just decided, you know what, our economy's failing. We don't care. We're just gonna open everything back up.
Yeah.
And that obviously didn't go to plan because we went into second lockdown.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think they're handling it well now that they've released the vaccine, and they're saying, here, you know what, if you want to take the vaccine, take the vaccine.
Yeah.
If you don't want to take the vaccine, don't take the vaccine.
Simple as.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember the Eat Out to Help Out plan that Chancellor Rishi Sunak set up to try and get the economy kick-started again. Yeah. Do you believe in the vaccines?
Vaccines. That's new. I'm not. Well, personally, I'm not planning to get one for a while until
Yeah.
I know the full effects, because it's not whether I believe in them or I don't believe in them. It's just that they haven't been tested long enough, and I don't know which one it is, because I do know one's got traces of COVID in it. The
Yeah,
other
'cause-
one's not meant to be safe one.
Yeah, Pfizer's built on altered DNA.
Yeah, because that's it. I heard about someone taking Pfizer, and apparently, like, there's been cases with that one like people getting blood clots, and that would make sense since it's altered DNA. So
Yeah.
it would make sense, like, if you get blood
Yeah,
clots with that.
there's also people with allergies, severe allergies, can't have Pfizer because at the BRI in Bradford, they had 2 nurses take the Pfizer vaccine, and they had severe allergies and they went anaphylactic. You know what anaphylactic is, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically where your throat closes up, lips
Yeah,
blow up, tongue blows up as well. Not as in
yeah.
explode. I meant just inflates.
No, talking about, like, the nurses in BRI.
Yeah.
When my mum was in the hospital with COVID and she was in ward 31 or something like that. My dad talked to the nurses and they were like, when the vaccine comes out, they didn't want to have it.
Right.
Like most, but like.
Yeah, I mean they might have to. I mean, my cousin, her partner, she works in a care home, and she's had to have the vaccine because she's working around
Yeah.
old vulnerable people. I think she's about 18.
Yeah.
Do you think people are taking the pandemic seriously enough?
No, absolutely not.
Next question. Should forces be more strict on mass gatherings?
For police forces. I feel like they should really not, because I feel like that just makes things worse, because
Yeah.
in certain places, like other places will be like, other places may be like relaxed with it, but I certainly know places like Bradford, Leeds, Manchester will end up like causing riots,
Oh yeah.
way worse things. It would probably help COVID spread faster, to be honest.
You're a student like
Yeah.
me, obviously been tough. How do you think it's affected you?
It's affected my learning by a huge point. First, I
Yeah.
was happy. I was like, yes, I can relax.
Yeah.
But college had other ideas when they decided to make teams a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been much harder to learn,
Yeah.
because at least when you're in class, you're there, you can focus on your work and you can do it.
Yeah.
Home, much harder, different place, different work environment.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
way harder.
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. Because I remember we came to college the same year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we both had to resit as maths and English because we didn't get it in school. And I remember you didn't get yours this time round, did you?
No, I got my English though.
Yeah, you got your
Got my
English now.
English
Well
finally.
done, mate. Honestly, you know,
It's
all
funny
power
because
to you.
English is meant to be the hardest thing for me, but I got it. So it's,
Next question: do you think lockdown has been a good event in in any way? Have you benefited from it? If that makes sense.
You mean by getting more exotic animals? Yeah. Besides, I think it's just been a pushback on a lot of things, on a lot of things getting done in life. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think the main thing was we all had to develop coping mechanisms and do things. And the last question I'm going to ask you: what was the thing you missed the most?
Oof, hard questions. Guess it really doesn't affect me in that way, but I'd say going like to restaurants and eating,
Yeah.
like trying new places out.
Yeah. Yeah, you miss going out and,
Yeah.
you know, going out for a nice meal
Yeah.
with your family, yeah.
You don't expect that from me. I'm a skinny kid, but still, I can eat.
The first question, what was your main coping mechanism during lockdown?
To be honest, I didn't have one, but I found a job during it, and that kind of helped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool one. Second question: do you feel that the pandemic is entirely serious?
Yes and no, because a lot of people say that a lot of people are getting sick, and at the same time, you don't really know that many people that would get sick. Like, I know that some of your family members had it, I think. Am I
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And then Salman said that his family were sick as well.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think I might have had it, but let's say my country has some weird ways of getting you out of being sick. So, like, we have this weird way which helps against everything, I have a feeling. But yeah, basically you take beer and you boil it and then you put honey in it. It tastes disgusting, but it like heats you up so much. By the next morning, you're feeling fine.
Wow.
Like, yeah, you just feel like nothing ever happened, but you have to like fight through that disgusting part of it.
Beer mixed with honey. Wow, I'll have to
Yeah,
remember that
it's
one.
horrible.
Oh, two of my favourite things as well. Third question: do you believe that the virus is real?
Well, to be honest, yes, because it existed way before all of the pandemic. Because in the 80s, they found out that the bats had it already, but not none of the human being had it. And in the book, I'm a Legend, so not the movie, the book.
Yeah.
The cause of the virus was actually like from the people turning into undead.
Yeah.
And funny thing is, in the book, they kind of were more of a vampire than zombie.
Yeah.
And basically, in the book, the main cause of the illness was COVID.
Right.
Which is kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it
right
is.
now, it's kind of weird.
God, how they managed to predict that? Wow.
Well, it wasn't. No one turned into a vampire, but yeah, weird.
What are your thoughts on the conspiracy theories about the virus?
Don't start with that. I just made one.
Oh, of course.
I just made one.
Oh.
But to be honest, most of them sound like rubbish. Like, none of them sound legit, to be honest.
Do you think the government is handling the virus well?
Not really. Not really, because when the first lockdown happened, no one was ready for it. Okay, that makes sense. So it was kind of a mess already. But then they, like, stopped it, and then it became even bigger mess. Like, why didn't they just carry it on? They just opened everything up, and then it was like, why? And then they made the second lockdown.
Yeah.
So it was weird as hell.
Do you believe in the vaccines?
Not yet. not quite there.
Right.
Because they do feel a little edgy.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it doesn't sound proper. Like, they haven't been tested properly.
Right.
One of them really has killed a bunch of people by now.
Are people taking the pandemic seriously enough, do you think? Could be controversial.
No, none of them are taking it seriously. Like, have you seen the people, like...
Yeah.
Like Salman said before me, like, those little corner shops, everyone knows them. You can go in there without a mask. And not only that, it's cramped space and there will be like 10 people in there.
Should forces be more strict on mass gatherings, do you think?
To be honest, I would say yes, but they shouldn't do it. So even though it should be, they shouldn't do it because people will start pushing back then.
Yeah.
And it can be really bad because then people might start rioting and you don't know what might happen. Like, for all we know, another French Revolution might happen. Like, it's a risky thing if you try to.
But, how has this affected your job / occupation?
Well, to be honest, college, not really well, like, at all. Like, the first lockdown was, it wasn't that good at all. We all know it, like, college went mental, nothing was planned out at all.
No.
But, yeah, only reason, to be honest, why I found job was because the first month I sat at home, it was okay. But when I realised that this is not going to end a while, I just started to go mental at home. Like, I couldn't cope with being locked inside. So I just went and found a job. And, like, now I feel like every person who says, oh, I can't find a job, it's so hard, it's impossible, I'm trying. That's all, like, full of, that's.
Do you think lockdown has been a good event in any way?
Not really.
No.
Not really, at all. Like, it's been only bad for now. Like, in UK, to be honest, it isn't even that bad. In my country, like, to be honest, the people are yelling, oh, we have, like the government are saying, oh, we have, like, the highest deaths from COVID in whole Europe. And when you ask people, no one actually knows anyone in Latvia who's been sick with it. Like,
Wow.
at all. And to be honest, Latvia's government is kind of edgy, let's say that.
Yeah.
Because, to be honest,
What was the thing you missed the most?
my friends. Like,
Oh, you're a people person.
yeah, well.
That's-
I like how you ask me that.
I say people person.
I'm not. I'm not a people person. But yeah, I like hanging out with my friends, and it was weird being away from them so long,
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
being able to go outside as well to just do something.
Yeah, I know. It's honestly, I think it hit everybody hard. But yeah, thanks, mate. Been really, really good. What was your main coping mechanism during lockdown?
Music.
All right.
I connect with lyrics quite a lot, so it kind of helped me forget about what was going on, really, and it just let me be in my own zone, and it helped a lot.
Do you feel that the pandemic is entirely serious?
I do believe that it's 100% serious, but I believe that it was man-made, and I believe that it was taken not too seriously. It was, how do I describe it? Yeah, overreacted. That's the word.
Overreacting. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I feel like a lot of people overreacted for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it, but I don't understand why we've gotten through so many flus and it's never caused a global pandemic, and now all of a sudden COVID-19 comes and then boom, lockdown, we're not allowed to do anything. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you believe that the virus is real?
Yes, I do.
What are your thoughts on the conspiracy theories about the origins of the virus?
Well, I don't know any conspiracy theories about it other than it being man-made, to be honest.
Do you think the government is handling the virus well?
I want to say yeah, but I don't know, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Like,
do you believe in the vaccines? You know, like AstraZeneca, Pfizer, etc.
Yeah, but I personally don't want to take them because the way I see it is if I don't suffer from it, I don't need to take the vaccine, and I won't take it until I suffer from it if I do.
Okay. Are people taking the pandemic seriously enough, do you think?
I think that's like, I think it was more of a 60-40, maybe 80-20 more accurate kind of thing. I feel like like some people weren't taking it seriously because obviously I know through social media and that people were still going out and like acting like it wasn't around.
Should forces be more strict on mass gatherings? Could be quite controversial, could that?
What do you mean?
Controversial means like...
No, the question.
Oh, the question.
I know what controversial
All right,
means.
okay. Oh, yeah, of course, Piers Morgan. Oh, God. Yeah, you just got to mention his name, haven't you?
Yeah.
Anywho, yeah, should forces, so like police force and the
Public
military.
services.
Yeah.
I do believe they tried their best, and especially the NHS, like.
Yeah, of course.
And I've always said this even before Corona came and the pandemic. The NHS and all public services don't get paid enough. Like, they get paid less than footballers.
Yeah, how has this affected your job? Well, no, I don't know. Are you in work?
No, I don't work.
Alright, like, because you're a student.
I'm a student, I'm a college student.
Yeah, a student like me, has it affected?
That was probably the most negative effect that happened to me was my college.
Yeah.
Like, it affected my college learning and my study, they're the same thing.
Yeah.
My college studying, like, awfully. They really negatively impacted it, and like, I was even second guessing the course that I chose.
Yeah.
Because of the pandemic, because I wasn't motivated when I was at home. There was too many distractions because I lived with four other people. Four other people. I had my mum and my 4 siblings.
Right.
And just yeah, that was probably the only negative impact it had on me, and my social life, of course. But
Okay, 10 could be a bit of a pointless question. This one, do you think lockdown has been a good event in any way?
yes, because the percentages were a lot lower than they possibly could be. But no, because of how negatively it impacted me, my family, my friends.
Yeah.
Like it affected so many people in so many different ways, whether
Yeah.
it was negative or positive, and it was mainly negative from my perspective, from what I know of.
What was the thing you missed the most?
Definitely going out with my friends and socialising, and going out and just getting food or something, or something just as simple as like going into town or something, or window shopping with my friends, or actual shopping.
Yeah.
I miss not being able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a social butterfly, me. I love my friends. I love being around my friends. My friends are my happy place.
Yeah. So you're a people person.
Yeah, I'm a people